setting the boundaries and saying I need to be around people who are like-minded and who can take me and my brand to the next level. I've got to center myself around people who have vision, who have drive, who have, that same work ethic, but we feed off of each other because I like to grow and self-develop and evolve as a brand, and I wasn't.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's a celebration. We're celebrating 4 years of the Awaken Soul, and I figure why not have somebody who is just as responsible for the branding, helping me learn about branding and everything. Somebody who's known me before I started being a creative and knows me afterwards. We got Miss B Current Design is in the building. The best graphic designer in the world. Brooke is here. What's going on?
Hello, everyone. Do I need to lean down like that?
No, just talk.
Okay.
Just talk.
It's kind of hard when you get called big head ass before.
I mean, you got a big head.
I was late, everyone. That's
you were late.
No.
You almost got fired.
I know.
That's what almost happened.
Yeah. My apologies. All these international brands that I'm in charge of now.
Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that shit you talking about. Nobody cares about any of that. I don't care about no international brands.
I do.
The Awakened Soul is your number one and top priority. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is it not?
Well, it's like my third.
That's fair. I can accept that. I'm in the top 3. We're good. So it's first time being in the I don't give a fuck studio. How do you feel about the studio? You see how I've upgraded since?
It's smaller than what I thought, but it's.
How big did you think it was? Or you think I'm not some multi-million-dollar corporation?
I mean, you have a plethora of equipment. No, I'm kidding.
You see how it fits?
It's nice. It's red and black from my angle, and gray.
You got brown over there,
and brown and yellow.
They call the hell of yellow. Anyway, so I wanted to bring you on for a couple of reasons. Honestly, I wanted to have a conversation with somebody who has seen my growth, seen just me stepping into a whole world that I didn't know before, which I had no idea how to be creative. I had no idea how to market. I had no idea how to do any of that. And so through talking to you and stuff, I've learned the importance of branding. I've learned the importance of having your shit in order, just to be frank. And you've definitely helped me with that. So I wanted to have that conversation to help creatives. I wanted to have that talk with you. This is much of a celebration about my growth in the podcast growth as it is trying to educate any new podcasters, any podcasters who are trying to get over the hump. So I figured this would be a good conversation to have on both sides of that. So I have to ask you, after that first conversation we had about branding, are you not happy how far I've come? Because I know I had you frustrated as hell that first conversation.
I am absolutely amazed, if I could sum it up, because you listen to me. That's always great. And you take it seriously. As we grow as artists and creatives, a lot of people want our knowledge and don't really take heed to it. They're like, oh, okay, sometimes, but you just kind of let me do my thing with you, and you listened, and you're excited about your brand, and that excites me as a designer, as a brand consultant. And so I'm excited to see you grow and to help you evolve. It's definitely aided in your credibility, your confidence. So that definitely helps. So yes, it's pretty incredible. I'm excited to see where you go.
What's because I think we need to have a real conversation, right? My first logo, how disappointed were you in me because of that?
I mean, As I always tell my clients, it was a nice foundation, but I didn't really see that wasn't. I'm like, are you a rapper or I mean, what's going on here? I just knew, I just saw better for you, and I had listened to your content, and I'm like, yeah, this could go farther. This could reach the masses. So I'm a visionary, so I always dream bigger, see bigger. And I asked him, I remember our conversation, I said, where do you want to take this? And he was like, I already told you, you know. And I'm like, no, what do you want to do with this? Do you want it to just be a hobby? Do you want it to be, you know, something that grows into something that it is now and even bigger? And so, yeah, I knew I could help get you there and help companies look at you seriously and help you make some money, because that's what it's about, right? The bag.
It's so funny, like, because when I started this, I don't even think I said it on the first episode. Like, it was kind of just I sat down and I just recorded it. But like you said, like I think as my content grew, as I knew who I wanted to touch, as I knew what I wanted to deliver, of course, that my idea and my vision on that is as it grew with it. And so like it went from this thing where I was like, I didn't even really expect that many people to listen to it, to like now the fact that it's syndicated on the radio in a couple of places. Like that shit's wild to me. And like I think sometimes I don't slow down enough to really think about, and this isn't to just brag, like to how far I've made it, because it's been hard ass work. I remember like the first 2 years of this, I like even now I'm 4 years into that, and I think I did the math. Even if I dropped an episode every week over that, I should be at like 210 episodes. I'm at 220. So I have more episodes than weeks the podcast has been available, which is just, it's crazy to me. But it takes that work, and I know people like you can grow in podcasting without necessarily dropping every week, because every week every podcast isn't weekly. But I think for me, the consistency, whatever you decide you're gonna do, stick to it, be consistent, and that helps. Like I've always said, like part of the thing that helped me grow so much is that people knew I don't drop on. I drop more Monday mornings now. I've slowly got to that, but people knew every Sunday 3 p.m. for the first 2 years. That's when the Awaken Soul was going to be available, and literally like I would set my episodes to record, and I knew by 5 p.m. Sunday I was going to start getting tweets or messages about the content, and so it's just really like puts me in a spot in like the four, and I wasn't going to do anything for 4 years. I was like, I might as well just wait till the 5th year. And then like I started getting messages of people like, hey, it's your anniversary, what are you doing? And I'm like, damn, I got to do something. It's like, man, 4 years to think that I wasn't a creative at all, to become a creative. I've dropped 2 short films. I've won 3 short film festivals. Like I'm working on another short film. Like, and all of that started with this. Like now I have this whole production. It's crazy.
Isn't that amazing?
And it all started with a damn headset and a computer, not even a microphone.
I thought you were gonna say the logo, but whatever.
But I mean, no. I'm saying that's where the podcast started. But no, seriously, when I first sat down with you for the first real logo of the Awaken Soul that you did, it felt like, okay, I'm here now. Like it gave me something to be proud of, and it that did put me in a branding, because now not only did, and I have to commend you, because not only did you make a logo for me, but you made something that has become iconic with the Awaken Soul now, and that's the sound wave. like I mean, I'm gonna pull this up for a second, but like this, it's a modified version of it, but like, so like people know now when they see that wave, like I don't even necessarily have to put the Awaken Soul logo. That red wave, people know whose that is, and it's crazy really to think about it. Then the King Haize logo that you did for me as well is iconic now too. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So when I call myself King Haize, you know that's your fault, right? Like that is absolutely your fault.
Well, I mean, you know, hey, you're a king. I'm not gonna deny it.
What do you see? Like, so like I said, I wanted this to be as much of a celebration and education for people who are listening. What do you think people don't understand about branding when they first get into like being a creative? What are some of the common themes that you see people miss when they start this journey?
It's an investment. You get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, now I understand budgets and stuff like that, but you have to set aside marketing dollars, and branding and design and all of that is a part of it.
Yeah.
I guess me personally, like, I don't want to just get, and now granted you have your budget, whatever, but I don't want to spend $25 on a logo. That's just me. I mean, I understand budgets, but I want somebody who knows what they're doing. If I have to bargain and do it like that, but I want somebody that, if I'm trying to go higher, if I'm trying to be serious about something, I want to align myself with people who are about that life, and who are subject matter experts in that area. So yeah.
No, I agree with you, and I think that's something that I've had to learn too. That's why, like, you've seen as my podcast has grown, I went from, well, it was a safety net for me to always have a guest on every episode, to now, like, more episodes, I'm by myself more times than not. But then when I do work with people, or when I like actually, I'll collab with anybody, but like when I actually like work with somebody on something, whether it's a festival, it's all strategic, because I think for a long time, the people that I collab with and work with got more out of me than what I would have ever gotten out of our partnership. And that was strictly just because my mind has been on business. You feel me? My mind's been on, people are in this to have fun. And that's fine. And let me say, I'm not vilifying that. That is perfectly fine to have fun. And there's a lane for that. But like, people will collab with you because they see that you do hard work and that you put in brand for your marketing, and they're thinking, oh, by me having this person on, I'm gonna get this amount of listeners, and not ever thinking what they can give back. So like now, like people like Rod, people like Maddie, people like Red Herring, like Baylor, of course my family from the breaks and everything. Like, I work with those people specifically almost like more times than not. They're the ones I reach out to first, because I know they take this as serious as I do. And like Rod from the Blunt Effect podcast, me and him, we recorded one day, and then we were talking. You know, I don't like talking that much. But we were talking afterwards for like 2 hours just on like,
what?
Like, yeah, seriously, like like promo ideas, how we can like interchange content, and like we can help, like, and that's the stuff that I'm in. This, like, I spent a long time with this giving, and not necessarily that I want to receive, but I want to build. And that's the difference, is I want to build. I want to deal with people who I can build with, and do stuff like that with. And like, even when I was doing the Unruly Creatives, and we did amazing content, but like, it was, looking back at it, and this is not a shot, looking back at it, that's when I was at my height of like my popularity. And I could tell that it was like, all right, well, if we partner with him, we can ride this out. And it was like, that's cool to a degree, because those are my people still. Like, in real life, those are my people. But it's like, at some point, I can't beat, because just like this year, I've taken more weeks off this year than I have at any point in time. But it's like, once I can't be everybody's machine. I'm my own machine. Now, we can be machines together, and then we can go further because we're working together. But like, for me, it's like, if I'm going to be the machine, I might as well just do it myself.
Yeah, I feel you on that, because I've had an evolution of my own brand and my own business, where I've had to, I noticed myself wanting it more than the people I was working for. And they would literally, if I didn't set boundaries, or, say I consult and stuff like that, they would just suck me dry.
Yeah.
And I would be exhausted. I used to like be up more hours than sleeping, and I thought I was doing something, but I was actually going in circles.
Yeah.
And I had to say, I'm not growing here. And I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room, if you will. But I think with just, setting the boundaries and saying I need to be around people who are like-minded and who can take this take me and my brand to the next level, I've got to center myself around people who have vision, who have drive, who have, that same work ethic, but we feed off of each other because I like to grow and self-develop and evolve as a brand, and I wasn't.
I mean, and again, this I have a whole segment on that, so I'm not going to dive into like the original Love, Lust, and Bad SO, because part of what happened there was that like I had a vision for growth.
Mm-hmm.
That vision wasn't shared.
Okay.
I can't stagnate. I cannot stagnate.
No.
And you one thing that you, as knowing me outside of just creative, like I can't, like that's just, I have never been, and one of the reasons why I've been a manager at every job and I've always gotten promoted is because this whole thing of it's working, let's just keep doing the same thing, never works for me.
No.
That's disgusting to me. Like I literally get so disappointed by that idea, because it's like, all right, but we need to innovate. Like we need to change. And
we're progressives.
Not making change just for change's sake, but at the same time, like you can't, just because something is working doesn't mean that same thing is always going to work. And if you just focus on the fact that it's working now, when things start changing and evolving, you're going to be behind. You're going to find yourself from being at the front of the line to the back of the line very quickly. And like one of the things that I will say is that, like with video, for example, me using video for my podcast, like I started doing that at a time where not everybody was using video. I was just using a webcam, and it wasn't the most immaculate thing ever. Like looking back at it, some of that shit is really, really trash. But me putting my face out there very early on and realizing the power in video has helped me stay ahead of the game. Now, if you look at it, almost every creative has to have some form of video content.
That video is king.
Yeah. And it's weird because it doesn't have to be record video of your full episodes from start to finish. Some of it is just use video for marketing. That's what video, for me, my YouTube, like some of my videos get like 700 views, and it's like, that's dope when it happens. But the YouTube never really pops hugely. But what I have noticed for me is that when I started using video for marketing and promotion, that I found that I would gain new listeners at almost like 120% higher rate than what I was when I was just doing the audiogram clips. And so it's power in video. People, even if they go and listen to you later, the fact that they've seen your face and now they can attach a face to that voice helps hugely. So like, that's the next question that I want to ask you. Even as like you, who you're a creative, but you're not like a creative that's forward facing.
I'm an artist.
Right? You're an artist. You're right. I'm sorry. You're an artist. You're an artist. Creative is for us people who aren't at the level. You are absolutely an artist. But like, do you like, have you found that you need to start using video for your brand as well?
Yes, I have. Well, to evolve my brand, yes. I'm more of a worker bee. I like to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But
for your work, not necessarily for you to be in front of the
camera. But
camera.
my work is me sometimes.
Your work is you all the time. Like let me be clear here, and I need to give you your flowers as well. I know I shouted you out for helping me get my branding, but like outside of just it being self-serving with the podcast, like you know a Brooke design when you see it.
Really?
Yeah, you have, and this thing is like it's not like you have like a certain font or anything that you use, but I think with what you do, and this is why you are an artist, you capture the essence of either the person behind the brand or what the brand's goal is in every single thing that you do. Like I've sent a bunch of creatives to you, like Extra Regular.
Mm-hmm.
When you did their when you, and I know they're no longer around, but when you upgraded their stuff, it was like, for a podcast that really, it's hard to put in the words what they do. Like when I saw that Extra Regular design, I was like, you captured it. All of mine, you've done the breaks, you did the Awaken Soul, you did Film Frequency, you did every except my new Chicago Bulls podcast, which I did great on that one.
Is that the one? I don't. It's a bull, right?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
But nonetheless, but no.
Great foundation.
Thank you.
My line.
No, but and I try not to bother you, but like, yeah, you really do. You capture it, and I've seen like work that you've done for like athletes and shit too, and it's you've like, so let's give you your flowers for a minute. let's give you your flowers.
Thanks.
When you started off in this journey of becoming an artist, did you take a class first? Did you like what started you? Because like for me, it was easy. I picked up a microphone, I talked my shit. But what is it the difference for like a artist? Like, how did you start this journey?
Well, I was born into it. My mom is a creative. My dad's a musician.
Her mama fine too, yo.
Thanks. My dad's side is a very artistic, creative, like abyss. There's 3 graphic designers, musicians, and all of that, painters, interior decorators, singers. So it was like in my blood. I kind of fought art early on. I was going to be a doctor, an obstetrician, but I was sitting in class. I was actually flunking science, but medical biology. So I saw someone do some multimedia project, and I was like, how do you do that? So I switched my major as a freshman, got in art classes, found that it came very easy. I didn't want to be a starving artist, so that's why I signed up for graphics, because that's where you get paid. And so it just came kind of easy. I've just been an artistic kid all of my life, really, but so just being an artist and designing and seeing color and things like that just, yeah, it just came naturally. So I just wanted to do something that was fun, and I didn't want to complain about having a job, day in and day out. I wanted to do something with purpose and passion. So yeah, I became a designer, but then I had to evolve because I was strictly print. And I'm like, ugh, everybody's going digital, everybody's doing electronics. Yeah. So I had to evolve that. And so I learned websites, and kind of people started asking me, well, industry trends and stuff like that. So I evolved to a brand consultant and a social media specialist or whatever. So yeah, it came naturally. I wanted to make something. It was progressive too. I wanted to make money, and yeah, so now it's more evolving into branding and mentoring. That's my next step.
When are you gonna start doing classes?
I did a class a while ago, but
because we don't always want to like go focus on monetization. Like that doesn't need to be the focus, especially because you already do this for a living. But I think like you have such a skill set and and one that people are trying to learn more themselves now, that like even if you did like an hour-long masterclass, like creatives would eat that up out the wazoo.
I just have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, you know a videographer who can set up live streaming for you, and
my team in Kansas City. Yeah, I could.
Is that the route you want to go with this?
No, it's you, of course.
But no,
you got all the greatness here that I know hardly anything about. So yeah, you're my subject matter expert.
And it's and that's the thing. Like people always ask me, and that's why I could never call myself an artist. I'm a creative, because nothing that I learn is nothing other people can't learn. Like even me with like what I do with videography, like 2 years ago, I didn't know what the hell none of this shit was. So like it like seriously, like in the span of 2 years, the amount of knowledge that I've been able to gain through like trial and error, the YouTube University, which is where I live at, it's been amazing. And I think that, and even taking it outside of that, like even before video, like what I know with audio editing and the fact that I can produce radios, like I learned all that shit myself. And we live in an age now, and I think people, it used to be this barrier where like you would see people with like these skills and you would think like, damn, how much time went into that? How much schooling did they have to do for it? And now like people give away that information for free. Like you just got to go out there and find it. Um,
And the truth is though, honestly, people think, oh, because I've been doing this a little over 15 years,
mhm,
I'm still learning.
yeah,
I don't know
that
everything
that's
about
a great point.
the creative suite.
That is a great point. There's something I learned with as much as I've been doing audio. Like literally, I was in here and I was trying to figure out how to get like it was some like frequency or something that was getting in there, and I was trying to my best to figure out how to do it. And like I've been doing this shit for years at this point, and I hit up Dan from Black Law and Legal Eyes, and he was like, "Oh, go in here, change this, scan this, and then do it." And literally, like my sound, even my I've been getting props on how my podcast has sound literally from the beginning. But like the last 10 episodes, if people who have that ear, I know most people won't, but like it's sounding even better now. I'm still learning how to improve on this every single day. And it just got it and that goes back into like for people who do this for fun, I almost envy them. That's why I say I don't look there was a point at honestly, I think it was my ignorance, arrogance to just be to admit it of like I used to look down like people just do this for fun. No, you gotta put time and cut it in. But like honestly, at this point now, I almost envy them in a way because the people who literally sit down in front of their computer, record, don't worry about editing, throw in some music and upload it, and they just have fun. I at this point now, the OCD in me would not allow me to even do that. Like there's times where I'm sitting there like videos that I post on my social media, like just for whatever, I'm sitting there, oh, let me download Premiere Pro on my phone so I can edit it and do this. It's like, bro, like
It's because it's, as I like to call it, you have a spirit of excellency. People call it perfectionist, but you just don't want to put anything out there. You take pride in what you put out there. So just rest in that and keep doing what you're doing.
feel that.
Cause I know I'm gonna put out a try. That's my goal. I don't just put out anything, and I sometimes have to reel it back because it's like, oh, that's not. Or if the client chooses something that I don't,
Oh my geez. Now that I've been doing videos for people, it pisses me off so bad.
you don't want that.
Or like when I do photography for people and they show up with certain outfits and I'm like,
Like a pattern, like stripes and a pattern, and solid colors, people.
this woman had on snakeskin boots,
Oh,
which are not bad in of themselves.
with
A plaid shirt
oh
and a jean skirt,
oh
and I was just like,
solid colors. Solid colors are your friend.
I was like, does everything have to be loud at different levels at that? Like that's just
You say, well, this isn't going on my portfolio.
not at all, not at all, not at all. And like I'm going through like archives and stuff. Legacy Visions page, like in the next week, it's gonna be more of a portfolio thing.
I want to get my hands on that, but anyway.
But yeah.
All your brands, sir, have the power to go as far as you want them to go.
I think too, like I have learned to give up the reins in certain degrees with stuff. So like with the Breaks Radio, as much as like that was the baby that started with me, Johnny and Ralph, like now that Mary, Marquis, and Baylor are my co-hosts there, and Mary works for Rock the Bells. She's legit. She worked for Hot 97 before then. Like I literally, and it's freeing in a way because like whatever she has is like that's what we do. Like I'm not gonna question you. So like in a lot of ways like that has become her show and I love that for her. I love that for the whole team. And then like with the film for which JB's taking a hiatus, so it's been back on me, so I've kind of taken the reins back on that. But so like I've really been able to narrow my focus on the Awaken Soul, Legacy Visions, and the Break Media as a whole company. But like the podcast, I've kind of been able to let that go a little bit. And I feel like you, like it's mentoring in a way, right? Because it's like, all right, I can set the foundation, but it's your job to build on top of it. Because like one thing that I realized is like with Legacy Visions, really once I realized that I wanted to make that a company, I set a goal by the end of 2022 that being my main income. So because of that, I had to let the reins of other things
Yeah.
go. And
Yep.
that was one of the hardest fucking things I've ever done in my life.
Who you telling?
Like,
I merged my
yeah,
design
with Black
company
Ink,
with
right?
Black Ink. And
Like,
I'm like,
I could not
oh,
believe you did that.
I know.
But I understood why. Because you have a machine behind you now. You did it by yourself for 14 years. So
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, my Be Current Design Co. started from being bored at my 9 to 5. So that, I mean, it was time. It was like 3 to 4 years old. And I just wasn't, I was spinning. I was going nowhere. So I had to take because I teamed up with people who have the same vision, if not better. And it literally, hope prayerfully, it'll skyrocket later this year. So I have to put all my, or most 90% of my energy into Black Ink. And yeah, we're building a lovely empire, and it's all for Black people, Black and brown.
Black is beautiful. Black
It
is
is.
beautiful. And so okay. This
Black,
is
the
transparent.
blackink.com.
People have asked me why there are no white podcasters on the Breaks Media.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm against it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Awaken Soul started with the premise of, and I'm half white, so like let's make it clear.
You don't say.
But it started with wanting to tell Black stories. It's wanting to create a platform that was for us. And I feel like even if you look at record labels like that are Black, once they start allowing white people in, it does introduce you to a new base, but it also changes the look of your company. And for me, the Breaks Media is Black as Black can be, and I wanted to keep it that way. And you know, people ask me that all the time. They're like, "Well, you can add diversity," and it's like, right now, I'm not worried about diversity.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I'm worried about my people. I'm worried about telling our stories, and because of that, I'm gonna ride it out.
Do it, because we sure are. I mean, I am.
Yeah.
So I think it's a hot market right now with everything that's going on. There's Black marketing dollars like insane.
Yeah.
And I'm talking budgets like crazy. So yeah, don't leave no money on the table.
So to wrap this up, going into year 5, it's time for a rebrand of the Awaken Soul. Okay, I'll cut that part out. Don't worry about it. I'll cut it out. So before we end, A, tell them where they can find you, but B, I want you just off the top, and I know you hate it when I put you on the spot, right? I I want you to give one goal for me and you both in our creativity to come back at this time next year when we're celebrating year 5, the end of year 5. What are we going to accomplish? What's going to happen for, well, it's not Be Current Co anymore, for Black Ink, and what's going to happen for the Awaken Soul in the next year?
Hopefully, no, we will definitely be, I don't know, see, I definitely want success, and I want next level success, and I want people to not only know our names, more people to know our names, but we will be leaders in the game. Period.
All right, now. So when you say that, I'm gonna have I'm gonna do a live show, and everybody, all the women's toes, got to be out.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it Toe Fest.
Okay.
Toe-tastic. Toe-tastic. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the Toe-tastic
go
Toe
with
Fest.
these toes. Uh-huh.
No, I'm just talking shit. I can't wait to like
totally.
And so for me, like I was preparing to start. I was gonna announce a live show with Delta. I'm gonna wait again, but not my birthday this year. My birthday 2022. So this around December 5th, 2022. I'm gonna have a live show. And my goal for it is to be an event, meaning that I want music, I want a comedian, I want an experience. And you know, one of the first things that you say about the Awaken Soul is that it's an audio experience, but I want the live experience. And so I've done live shows for like almost. Well, I've done live shows for Love Lust and Badass Soul. I've done live panels and shit for festivals, but like the Awaken Soul show, and it's going down. I already know it's going to happen in Chicago and December, and it sucks because it's going to be cold as shit in December in Chicago. But I got to make it happen, and that's my goal. I'm not going to rest until it happens.
Good.
So, but all right, tell them where they can follow you. Let's get the hell up out of here.
You can follow me on Instagram at bcurrent_bu. You can, let's see, Brooke Hawkins on Facebook, the Black Gold Mine on Twitter, yeah, or my website, bcurrentdesignco.com. That needs updating.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and we got to revamp the Breaks Media website, like completely. I want to tear it down from top to bottom.
Okay.
So I'm putting your ass to work. That has
always
been Brooke. And Brooke, I want to thank you for joining me for this segment. We will be right back after this, where we are going to get into. I'll let you guys know when we get there. I'll see you guys right after this.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.